Hi everyone, thanks for joining us for the second video on analysis. In this video, we will discuss burdens of proof. As a general note, if you haven't yet, we highly recommend you start by watching the first video on mapping the moving parts before watching this one. So let's get started. What are burdens of proof? Burdens are the claims or the sub-claims of an argument that have to stand for the argument as a whole to stand. In this module, we will focus on identifying what the burdens are for each argument rather than on how to prove them. Proving them, we will discuss in different methods in the next few videos we'll do. As a general note, if an argument meets all of its burdens, it is a proven and kind of resilient to attacks argument. Do you need to practice burdens? That's kind of depending on how you seem to be struggling with them now. Most people don't already integrate burdens into their analysis. Consider whether you heard frequently in your feedbacks around the lines of, you are missing a link that made it hard to credit your analysis. Or do you often lose to bottom half themes that vertically extend on you? These are usually good indications that you are missing burdens in your analysis. So how do we find burdens? The most methodical way is just to rebut your own argument. Try and find all the different answers that make your argument vulnerable to attacks. Then ask yourself, what claim needs to be proven to answer this rebuttal? When you have a list of claims that are preempting all of the different rebuttals you expect, this list is your list of burdens. You repeat this process until you can think of no further rebuttal and convinced that if the list of burdens you have is proven, your argument is bulletproof. As a note, we don't always need all possible burdens. Some links are possible to be refuted, but are extremely unlikely to be challenged. It's good for practice to come up with all of the different burdens you can find. However, in a debate, we will select to actually spend time only on burdens which are likely to be contested. So for example, we usually don't need to prove that smoking is unhealthy because it's very unlikely to be contested in a debate about banning smoking. We would need to spend more time on actually proving things that are likely to be contested, such as we can effectively succeed in preventing people from smoking via a ban. How do we practice identifying burdens? Simply do the process I just described repeatedly in your free time with random motions. Choose an argument, it can be just one argument for the motion, and try and dissect it to all of the different burdens it includes. We suggest that you set yourself measurable goals so that you can track your progress and gradually increase the difficulty. There are two main parameters you can use for this practice to increase difficulty: the number of burdens and the time limit. We suggest you can start with unlimited time and identifying at least two different burdens for an argument. As time progresses and you get better at this, increase the number of burdens you need to find and limit the time that you have to find them. You will almost never need more than 5 burdens for a given argument, and with some very rare exceptions. So we would recommend that when you reach that end, start limiting time rather than increasing burdens farther. In the description below, you will find an example where we take an argument building up on the same motion we had from the example of the previous video and dissect it into burdens. Thanks for listening, and see you soon in the video on mechanization.